Well, as a teacher, the way that I relate to students is just like I would relate to anyone else. As all human beings, we all have DNA. We've got dreams, we've got needs, and then we also have to take actions to be able to achieve those dreams and those needs.
I try to relate to students. It's probably because I'm so young, you know. Kids relate to me because I'm close to their age, I think. That and the dance moves.
How do I relate to students? Well, I'm 4'9", and most of the kids here are, well, 5th graders anyways, 4'9" and under. But some of you have passed me up.
My students are happy whenever they complete a problem and they're successful. They're able to accomplish it and feel good about themselves.
What makes my students happy is Jolly Ranchers.
I think what makes my students happy is when I find things that they like and relate to them, and I talk to them, I get to know them a little better, and we joke around when it's a good time to joke around.
They would probably say that I'm always talking about behavior. As you know, I'm very passionate about well-behaved students. So I would say they'd probably remember me always saying, keep your hands, feet, and negative comments to yourself and make it a great day.
What would my students say about me? They would probably say that I like to cut up puppies, but I hope that they remember the reasons behind it and that they always have reasonable answers.
So my students always say that I'm bald.
Well, there's two things my students always say. One is, Ms. Porras, you're outstanding. And the second one is, Ms. Porras, you look gorgeous today.
One thing my students will say about me is that I genuinely love science and that I truly believe they are the future and the world depends on them.
A good student is someone who always follows their expectations, does their work, doesn't have to make their teacher repeat the instructions several times, and they walk in the hallways.
Well, a good student to me is someone who always comes to me asking about, what to do to push their art further. Someone who just comes in and puts their whole heart into their art. They have a rough day at school. This is your time to come in and unwind and focus on something new. And so I just really like seeing that in a student.
To me, a good student is someone who works hard and is nice to everyone else.
A good student looks, to me, very dependable, with a positive attitude, and they're ready to learn.
To me, a good student smells nice, even after recess, and uses their life principles at all times.
Oh, a good student looks like to me, well-behaved, not so important, but gifts, words of affirmation, that's my jam.
To me, a good student is the one that always brings chocolate to me, that is always checking that everything is where it needs to be, that it's always after everybody to ensure that they've completed their assignment, and that shows 110% of effort to try better every day and to do better every day.
Well, a great student looks like a student who is not afraid to make mistakes, a student who has a growth mindset, and a student who is reflective and can look back and say, I've learned XYZ because I did XYZ.
One thing students always say to me is, Miss Dawes, how many books do I have checked out? Or do you have that book about the girl who has the dog and there's a boy in it and they are with their family and it's got like a blue cover?
Well, one thing my students always say, or should I say ask, is, can we play quiet ball, Ms. Vasquez?
My students always say, are we doing something fun today? And I usually say yes, because I enjoy U.S. history and I try to make their lessons fun and engaging. We get to do fun things like the Gold Rush and gallery walks, and keeping students engaged makes them happy and helps them learn better, I believe.
Well, one thing my students said a lot when they came in the door is today silent day practice? Because they always wanted to do silent day practice so they could earn a silent day. So that's one thing that made the students super happy, was to be able to do silent day and run the classroom. And all of the classes ran their class for 45 minutes. Yay, silent day.
One thing my students always say is, when are we ever going to use this?
Ooh, the hardest thing about being a teacher is most of the times I get these ideas either while I wake up in the middle of the night or just when I'm daydreaming about these projects. And the hardest part is letting them kind of go on their own and seeing what they come up with, because sometimes my vision of a project isn't their vision of a project. So we have to kind of meet in the middle. But I do love seeing the work, and it's just rewarding to see my ideas come to life through the kids.
The hardest thing about being a teacher is the students, the grading, the parents. Everything is hard.
The hardest thing about being a teacher is saying
Goodbye.
If I could give any advice to the incoming 5th graders this year, it would have to be work really hard and please wear deodorant.
A piece of advice I have for future 6th graders is, most importantly, stay organized. You are going to have a lot of work in all of your classes, and it's really important that you use your time management skills and manage your time wisely, because you might have a project going on in every single class at the same time. So you want to work a little bit at a time on everything and not wait to the last minute, because then you're going to be scrambling and you're not going to put forth your best effort or turn in your best work, and you want to make sure you're proud of yourself and your work. So please use your time wisely. Use a planner or an app on your phone to keep yourself organized, and just work a little bit each night, or form a study group with your friends. Do something to help yourself stay organized and on top of your work.
One wisdom I would pass on to my students is to always try their very best, to put a lot of effort on everything they do, and to reach for the stars every single day.
The wisdom that I would share with my students is to, number 1, tell the truth, always. Number 2, be kind. And number 3, continue to be a lifelong learner and continue to read, because reading makes you a better person. Good luck, Wildcats. I'll be cheering for you.
I think I would share that you would never be sorry that you are kind. And I think that because we have so much negativity in the world, I want you to know that adding to that doesn't make you special, that being special is somebody who shows love and consideration and kindness to other people.
The wisdom I would pass to my students would be to be kind always. You never know the struggles that people are going through, so it's always important to put a smile on your face and be kind.
I will tell my students, and I have 2 kids in my mind because they were my flag helpers, is to listen to your elders. I know you don't want to listen about them now, but in the future you will say, hey, that's something that Ms. Delgado told me. It's very good right now. So please listen to the elder, even if they give you a hard time. In the end, it will be awesome for your life.
If I could pass on one word of wisdom, is you are amazing the way you are, and so don't try to be like anybody else. Just be you.
I definitely say don't change for anybody. You continue to be you, and that's be true to your heart, because that's what this world needs, is more of you.
I would just say be proud of who you are and work hard, and you can achieve anything. That's the truth. Put the effort in 5th grade, and by the time you're a senior and by the time you go to college, your hard work will pay off.
Oakcrest 5th graders, the wisdom that I would pass on to you is to be kind to others and to accept one another's differences. After all, that is what makes each of us unique and special individuals. Have a safe and fun summer.
If I could pass on
Wisdom to students, I would share that I would encourage you to always be respectful. We talk about it a lot. We talk about the life principle of respect. We talk about 8 expectations, but I would encourage anyone, whatever grade you're in, whatever environment you're in, whatever career you choose, to show respect to other people, and that will be reciprocated and shown back to you many times.